nights, tell her how it goes. From Chi-Town roots to the truth I expose. The man, the myth, the story, the flame. Put respect on the legacy, remember the name. Joey C. Late nights, tell her how it goes. From Chi-Town roots to the truth I expose. The man, the myth, the story, the flame. Put respect on the legacy, remember the name. Guns, gun, cake, a fraud in the game. Claim the Chi-Town blood, but he's got no claim. From the safe little suburbs, never pay those dues. Talking like a hustler, but you'll never fill these shoes. You're a phony, a liar, just sweet on the shelf. While Joey sees fire is the truth itself. I was born in the storm, you were raised in the mall. When Chicago speaks, you don't matter at all. Joey C. Late nights, tell her how it goes. From Chi-Town roots to the truth I expose. The man, the myth, the story, the flame. Put respect on the legacy, remember the name. Late nights, tell her how it goes. From Chi-Town roots to the truth I expose. The man, the myth, the story, the flame. Put respect on the legacy, remember the name. Then comes Cupcake, a fraud in the game. Claim the Chi-Town blood, but he's got no claim. From the safe little suburbs, never pay those dues. Talking like a hustler, but you'll never fill these shoes. You're a phony, a liar, just sweet on the shelf. All Joey sees fire is the truth itself. I was born in the storm, you were raised in the mall. When Chicago speaks, you don't matter at all. Joey C. Late nights, tell her how it goes. From Chi-Town roots to the truth I expose. The man, the myth, the story, the flame. Put respect on the legacy, remember the name.
Well, good evening, everyone. How are you? Good to see everybody here. Well, I've been putting the show off for the last couple of weeks. I think I originally was going to do it 2 weeks ago, due to a lot of things I just got overwhelmed with, busy with, and still trying to figure out a lot of things to do with YouTube and my channel. So, but it needs to be spoken tonight. Tonight's a very touchy subject. It's the human trafficking of children, how bad it's getting. It's just overwhelming how many children are there abducted, how many children are there being sold, used for prostitution. And we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We're going to talk about, there's been acts put by other presidents. We'll go over the presidents, what they've done, where they failed, what our government is doing today, and what I feel would be, the difference. I think the most important thing is people got to be aware everywhere in this world. You have to be aware. You have to look. You have to, when you're out in public, you just got to observe things that you might not normally catch with the human eye, but something that's odd. You might see some people that look off, and you never know. You report that, and you might be saving somebody from being human trafficking. You just never know. But if everybody in this country participates, at least we got a better chance of maybe bringing our children home and not letting them get kidnapped by these sick individuals. Again, I'm Joseph Samuel Catalano III. This is what I started out to do about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I entered in the presidential race. I want to talk over a few things before we start. So this is the official form now that I have to go out in Florida. This is from the Florida Board of Elections. I have to get 145,000 of these signed, which recommended I do 200,000 because you might have 20,000 people out of the 145 that are not able to vote or they moved or whatever the reason. So they suggest I get 200,000. I have to June of 2028. I have to have it on this form, and then it has to be broke down and taken to each county in the state of Florida. So not only do you get the votes, I got to go to every election office in each county, to their city, to their building, and turn them in, and then they have to be counted by an election manager, and then if I make the votes, I get on the ballot. Now, Florida is probably the most out of all the states, the highest amount of signatures. Go figure. Florida's like that, but what can I say? It's going to be a challenge. I do understand. I got a chance of about 1 in 5 million, maybe 1 in 10 million. But I've really taken this serious, and there's a lot of things that got to be fixed in our government that hopefully as we progress full time on the road and start talking about it, that we could, people could see that we're making valid points. We got a lot of fixing to do. And I think if the people get together and just, instead of stand down and just let these politicians, these rich people, and all these people that have been in office for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years, keep doing what they're doing and just not doing nothing about it, and you're just going to continue to be a statistic. And I don't know about you. I've made my share of mistakes. I've paid my dues. We all have. Every one of us that are here tonight have paid our dues, made mistakes, made bad decisions, made bad choices. Everybody. No one's perfect. We've all went down a road sometimes we don't want to go down. Some of us have struggled with alcoholism. Some of us struggle with being drug addicts. Some of us have struggled with many things of family problems, or maybe they were abused as a child themselves. And some of us must just be people that work and try every day but never get a break. And there's a lot of good people in America that are good, law-abiding citizens that work hard every day, and they just can't catch a break because of the corruption. And that's just reality of life. I know I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and the only way, and I have had a lot of failures in my life. So, but every time I failed, every time I fell down or got knocked down or just humiliated myself with something I was trying, or just blatantly looked ridiculous trying to do it. But I tried, and I picked myself up, and I try to just better myself every day. I came into this part of YouTube with the Dabbleverse, and I made statements that I want out. I really don't want to do Dabbleverse stuff, but unfortunately, I can't do that. I've either got to quit the internet 100%, or if I'm going to be doing my campaign and stuff and other things, I have to devote to the fans that have contributed. I've had a lot of people over the last 2 years that have gave a lot to this channel, and I fought with everybody. I fought recklessly with people. I've made mistakes with arguing with certain people. I apologize to those people. But I do got 6, 7, 8 people that have just never let up on me, and that's okay. It it ain't gonna kill me. It's just making me stronger and making me know that how real it is and how to deal with them. But I just want to start out with saying thank you again for being here. I'm doing this from my studio. I got the super tips on, but for some reason I don't know if it's 100% working in EVMux, so I don't know. So if you do send a super tip and I can't play it, my profound apologies now. I haven't in the last 6, 8 streams. I haven't done it for my studio. I've done it for my phone. But so I'm getting back in swing of things. I started the motorcycle, rebuilding the motorcycle, which we got pretty far last night. After we ended the show, Robert was determined to get all that electrical out. He finally did an hour later. And on Friday, just to touch base, we're going to go now. We're going to break down what we're going to get it down Friday. We're going to have the entire front end done, the back end, all the other little things that are like the chain guard and the other little housings and dressings that are on there. and then we'll have just the frame of the engine. Then we're going to carry that up to the second floor here at the porch where we got the station, and then we're going to get the engine completely off first, put it on the table, and then on Saturday we'll start breaking down the engine, cleaning it, painting it, and doing all that stuff, and then putting it back together. And then hopefully after eight episodes, we'll have that. We'll start up and we'll be riding. Then I have to go license plate it. I did find my license plate. I told you guys that. What did I do with my plate? Anyhow, I'll show you the next show. But all right, so let's talk about one of the biggest problems in America, and that's human trafficking of little children. And super chats. I'll probably about halfway through. I'm doing an hour and a half show, so probably at about 40 minutes, or maybe every 30 minutes I'll check and we'll do the super tips. I appreciate it. I really do. Again, for those of you who don't understand me or just plain out hate me, you know, we can't like everybody, and but I am a pretty decent human being, and I also could be a scumbag. I won't deny that. When I get pissed off, I get very, very, very evil, and I don't want to be that person. I want to try to be, if I at best with the people that hate me, if I can be civil with them, that'll be a victory for me. I just back and forth and this little kid stuff is just not for me. Never was. I am doing an interview at 3:00 tomorrow on Pineapple's channel, so please tune into that tomorrow. And we're just going to talk like two rational adults, and we're going to get to the guts of things and what he has to ask me, and it'll be just me and him, no Rochi, no other interruptions, and I'm looking forward to that. So I really appreciate the turnout. Very nice, you people. Very nice. All right, so again, I'll be reading off some of my papers. What I've set up to this point has been right for me without looking at anything. It's coming from my heart. Everything on my paper I put in. I speak from my heart. I don't have all the answers. I have a lot of ideas. And I did read on all the other presidents, what they have implemented in the past of their human trafficking acts, and we're going to go over each of that. But let me start out by saying, for decades, presidents stood at podiums and promised to protect American children. They signed acts, gave speeches, and made headlines. But the truth is, our system still bleeds, and it does. Our system does bleed. Our children still vanish, and tonight I'm telling you exactly where they went wrong and how we finally can make it right. So let me get out my presidents, and we'll go all the presidents that have done stuff, because I'm not trying to claim that I'm the one that's first one doing this. I researched to see how many other presidents have put acts in plan. We'll start out with George W. Bush. In 2000, the awareness era, what he did. He signed the Protection Act of 2003 and expanded the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, the TVPA. Built early global partnership and started treating trafficking as a major U.S. foreign policy issue, which I think is very important, because it's just not a United States problem. This is a worldwide problem. I mean, there's kids getting taken from the United States and being sold to other countries, and other countries are doing the same thing, and probably even more so in some of those countries that that we don't hear about, like we would hear stuff here in people that are from the United States, and we hear it in our local news and stuff. What worked? What I feel worked. Put human trafficking into mainstream political vocabulary. That was a smart move. Created the first office to monitor and combat trafficking in persons. That's George W. Bush. He did that. What he failed at? Focused too much on overseas trafficking, not domestic. That's a fact. Again, it goes back to us. Example, all our Vietnam vets, all our war vets who are homeless, are sleeping under viaducts, eating out of garbage cans, and we're supplying other countries with funding for things that we need to take care of our own. That's what that falls under. Pay attention to us first. Let's clean up what we got to get. Let's get our children back. Now, let's not fund other organizations and other countries. Let's not fund them and then forget about ours. But let's not forget, we got one of the most corrupt political teams in all of the country. Congress and Senate, some of those old guys have been in there for 40, 50 years. And believe me, if you're that naive to believe that they're not corrupt, or they don't take envelopes, and they don't allow this in, or they sign off on this, then I tell you what, you're just foolish, because it happens every day. And you know what? I feel sorry for the true American person who is the best law-abiding citizen, who worked hard, like just every day, slaved to make a better life for them and their family, who believe in the system and the government, and don't realize how every day they're being cheated by our government, because they believe so strongly. They believe it. You walk a straight line. You don't get arrested. You don't do nothing. You know, and that, to me, commendable. Unfortunately, not all of us can go that route. A lot of it's choices. Don't you agree? We make our own choices, and we have to live with our choices. I'm surely not going to sit here and say, "Oh, I went out and I did this, and I had these other two guys with me, and I only went because of them." No, that'd be bullshit. If I did something that got arrested, it's because I decided to participate, whatever. So that's on me. I had a choice, just like we have a choice. We have a choice to put our children first. We have a choice to go out and find all these ratchet people, put them away. Not just, you know what? I know it's not too presidential how I feel about with people that do certain crimes, especially against women and children. And I believe an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And then here's my other thing that, and everybody's gonna say, "You're an idiot. You're unconstitutional." Of course it's unconstitutional. Of course it's not within the law. But let me tell you something, it'll be effective results. Why treat them to a fair trial when you got amount of evidence, and you know they're doing this? Make an example out of them by doing things that they were doing to the people they were taking. Do that back to them. Then you'll scare these other people to think about crossing the line and coming to America and taking our children. It's got to be done. The only way we win with drugs and human trafficking is we got to think like them, become them, act like them, treat them like they treat us, and then we win and take back everything. That's what's got to be done. And that's the truth. That's the truth. Whether it's unconstitutional or not, that's the truth. Whether it sounds, well, we're not terrorists. No one said we were terrorists. I'm not trying to say we got to be terrorists. We don't torture. That's bullshit, because they do. You don't think the military have torture tactics when they catch our enemy? They're not going to tell you. They're going to tell you all the BS on the news. They're not going to give it for real, give you anything real, because they lie. And that's why I feel, whether it's me or just an average Joe like me, who could get the American people to wake up and take back this country and let the people have a say in this, and get corruption. And you know what? Going after people with high power and money, you're putting yourself on a target on your back for assassination. That's a fact. But you know something? I'd rather die and save the children and bring them home for the cause I believe in. I'd rather die for that than to sit down and do nothing. How many people that know and seen it and didn't come forth because maybe they took a payoff or they're too scared? Listen, life is not fair. I promise you that it's not. It's what you make of it. And that's just life, how I feel. Now, that was George W. Bush in the 2000s. Joey C. Fix, and like I said, I'm Joseph Sam Catalano III. I'm running for candidate for president 2028, pending I get on the ballots to be able to stay on the run. So I'm hoping now, as we go full force, and like I said, I'm waiting. I've been doing a lot of learning, a lot of writing to different states to get, what I got to do to get ballots, putting a lot of things together. But I go full force January 3rd. 2026 is going to be pounding to get those signatures. And I got plenty of time. It's going to be a lot of hard work. I got a lot of friends in different states that are willing to get volunteers to go out and get the signatures. Every state's different. Some of them you could just pay a fee and you're on the ballot. Those states obviously will do if we can start getting the campaign contributions in. And at the end of the show, I'll tell you where you can legally send a campaign. And I'm serious, people. If you really want to help and you really believe me, no matter what, whether fail or not, your money's not going in my pocket. You understand that? So you'll be donating to help a campaign that's the only way the funds could go on the campaign for things that I want to do. None of it, I could not take none of it from my pocket. So I'm not here to scam. I'm not here to do anything. And if I have to drop out, that money stays in the FEC fund. It never goes to the person. Never could claim what's left over if I lose or if I don't make it or if I have to drop out. I can't just say, okay, let me draw the money out. It doesn't work like that. That money is your money goes into, and they'll disperse it out to other candidates. That's what they do. So, and that's a fact. So, a lot of people think, a lot of people had a lot of opinions about me, thinking I was over the top with AI. Listen to me, because I chose to get personal with it. That was for my choice. I use it as a tool. It's a tool that is very, very good if you use it properly, and you can learn a lot of things. I learned a lot of things that I didn't know, And yes, it's not going to sit there and rationally put you down or tell you anything stupid. But if you really want to learn, like you're in school and you want to put yourself to like a class for the day, and I want to learn this and this, you can get all the right answers. And what you do with that, I just try to make it fun by Uncle Bob and introduce Uncle Bob because of the Dabbleverse, and I get called all kind of ratchet ass names. That's fine. If you can't accept me, excuse me. I look at it like this. You either accept me for who I am because you guys know what my capabilities are. You know how crazy, how psychotic I can be. You know how sometimes how stupid I can sound. But if you're a true friend, that shouldn't matter. You should still want to be positive and lift me up and support my decisions. I would do that for you. That's the difference. That's where I learned that there are no friends on the internet. There really are not. So I have one solution. This is one of the solutions, I think. We bring the fight home. We make the children in Ohio as important as the child in Thailand. The Catalano plan starts in our own backyard. We got to, like I said earlier, we got to fit us first. If we're going to put these people away and get our children back, we cannot start in Thailand. We cannot start in China. We cannot start here, there. We can't. We have to start here, spend the money here, and do that first. Then when we do us, we can go help other countries. If we continue to help other countries, what's the sense? What's the sense? If we don't stop corruption in the Senate and the Congress from letting the fentanyl come across the border, and it can be stopped. It can be stopped. People think you can fight the cartels, but you got to fight them not with words, not with putting them in jail because they don't care. If they want to come after you, what are they going to do? They're going to slaughter your children. They're going to cut your mother's father's head off. That's what they're going to do. So you got to go back to the tactics like they are. Show them no fear. Act like them. They'll go away. Trust me. I've seen it in real life. When people take stand and fight an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, it works. Yes, it's not the way. It's not the proper way to do it. It's not the legal way to do it. Well, then guess what? We're going to continue to be getting a piece of our ass taken out of us each day that we let other countries walk on us. Each day, keep getting the spending deficits where we're going under, and soon we're going to be owned and we're going to be outcast. We're supposed to be the most powerful, strongest country. We're not acting like it. People condemn President Trump. They come after him every possible way they can. You know what? Call it what you want. He still has done so far what he said he was going to do. Has he had failures? Yes, he has. Has he had success? Yes, he has. Has he done more than any other president over the last 20 years? I think he has. Barack Obama, 2008 to 2016. He straightened it. He straightened integrities, coordinations, and funding for survivor programs. He signed executive orders 13627 to prevent federal contractors from using forced labor. Okay, what worked? professionalized the fight, brought agencies together. Okay, that was good. He brought every agency, every federal agency together to be on the same page. You need every force, every federal agency to be on this. You have to have this. Okay? You have to have this. It has to be one. We have to unite to one. Not one person is going to do it. We're all going to do it. All of us, the American people, all the agencies, all the politicians. I mean, from what I see, with the people, some of the people that are on the Epstein list, doesn't that sicken you to know that some of our presidents were on there? So if they're on there, how the hell are you going to protect human trafficking if they're on there and they're just turning their cheek to get it because they don't care? That's got to stop. I mean, if you want to be a corrupt politician, okay, then so be it. Be a corrupt politician. But can you have some dignity and draw a line when it comes to human trafficking of children? And the sad part is, if it was their own child, they probably wouldn't do a thing about it. They would just chalk it up as a casualty of their mistakes. That's how ruthless some of them are. I mean, some people think not. Some people believe in government 100%. No, we fail every day in a lot of things. He added stronger labor trafficking focus. What failed? Red tape, a slowed response time. Again, when they had leads, when they had good intel, then the red tape rule came in where they had to go through all this red tape to move. Slow response time. Fuck that shit. If you got good intel and you know where you're gonna get, you need to move. And if that means you have to kill the people that are getting in your way, like other soldiers from other countries, because they're protecting the people that are taking the children, then we go to war and we take our children back. If you don't, then it's not going to stop. It's reality, people. It's a fact of how the world works. And that's it. This is me, an everyday Joe, who has seen a lot of craziness, a lot of stuff, a lot of bad, a lot of poor neighborhoods, a lot of people that just never had a chance because of no father. Their mother was a crackhead or a whore. Their father was a fucking in and out of prison, and they were left to just fend themselves. They had no chance. So all they learn is, the fastest thing they learn is, shit, I go sell a dub on the corner every 30 seconds, get a $20 bill, and make in the 24-hour period, make me $2,500, $3,000. 50 at 14 years old, they're going to see $3,000 a day. You think they're going to go get it? They're going to try anything else? No, they're not. So, and then they become bigger criminals, and anything that makes lucrative money, they get involved in. Next thing you know, they sold their souls, and they're no longer a human being. And that's, a lot of people are capable of doing that. I felt many times in my life when I made the few mistakes I made, I felt dirty. I just felt you fucked up, But you can't run from it. You can't, because it's never going to go away. Never. People that think I got away with something after 20, 30 years, don't tell. It still haunts you, especially if it's something really serious. And I promise you, it's going to catch up to you. Anything bad that you did that have not been accounted for will catch up to you. It will catch up onto you until you face it head on. It's gonna. You cannot escape your past unless you put closure and face what you need to face. When you do that, and then you move forward in a good direction, a positive direction, now you're doing something. There's a lot of people that were bad people, horrendous people. They murdered. They were gangbangers. They sold drugs. They beat women. They sold women, who are great preachers today. They're great advocates for us today. So, yes, it can happen. A bad person can become a good person. It can happen to any one of us. When people sit in this chat room and they judge me, and they sit there and say all the things, and you look at them and like, are you saying that because you're trying to cover up your own bad in your life? I had a gentleman that I guess who was on drugs for a long time, and I talked a lot about how I want to help people and just positive stuff, and he writes me every once in a while a message thanking me that he's been clean now for so many days, and I was the inspiration that got him clean. To me, that was the best thing any gift anybody can give me, by saying those words. Because you know what? no matter what, I'm always going to look in the mirror and say, just remember, you were an addict. You're a recovering addict now. Just remember, though, you were a bad addict. Remember, just remember the dark road you went down. It could happen to any of us. But then I laugh at the people in the chat room who sit there and blatantly attack me and try to get me riled up, and they do it to get a rise. Or they do it so they can fucking jerk off to it. To each its own, I guess. People don't like me because I won't fucking do explosive shows. I'm boring. I'm doing this. I mean, I thought it's pretty cool to start a show about ripping down a complete Harley Davidson motorcycle. And I've never done it. And people are probably saying, this is going to be fun watching him fuck that up and put it back together. Maybe that will happen. I doubt it. Because I'm very passionate about that. And I'm going to make it right. But I was sitting there and I'm buying the parts and I'm fixing it up and I'm starting to look good. I'm going, but the other half still looks bad. The frame looks bad. It's the original. The motor needs to be redone. Not redone as far as mechanical parts, but the wear and tear on the outside, how it looked. So let's take it piece by piece, clean it, put new gaskets in all of them, and then do the chrome and the flat black on the engine. Chrome. And when I watched this guy do this, it came out so tough. I'm like, wow, that's that. Now that, and he put in so much hard work. It was good. It made him feel good. It's gonna make me feel good because I know I'm gonna rock it. So, Donald Trump, 2017, 2021, the enforcement era. What he did, he signed multiple executive orders on trafficking. We know he did. Created the White House Trafficking Council. Yes, he did. Increased funding to the DOJ, Department of Justice, and the HHS programs. Okay, so he gave them proper funding so they can have more resources. That's good. He's the first president to spotlight children trafficking in national speeches. He is. Up to him, no other president never spoke on it in a national speech. Why? This is just not something that's been happening for the last 5 years. Prostitution's been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's the oldest illegal profession in the world. So why now? Why is he the only president? Where he failed. Oh, also he also straightened prosecution power and borders enforcement. He got tougher at the borders to watch, just like he wants to put the wall up about the drug trafficking he wants to tap. It can be done. We could shoot out the cartel to get the borders. Take them out. Give orders to our military. Take out their leader. And let it crumble. Whether they start back up down the road with a new leader, you take him out. Don't let it in. Do you guys have any idea how much fentanyl kills a day? The numbers are, and we'll talk about that on another political speech. Now, what I think needs to be, I'm sorry. Where I felt he failed, political noise overshadowed real coordination. Of course, that's exactly right. When politicians make a bunch of noise and they take it over the top, or they're talking about something else and they push this to the side, they overshadow it, and what happens? It gets buried. There's no clear survivor's justice path. Rescue without recovery. That's true. Rescue without recovery. Think about that. You think about rescue without recovery. First of all, these fucking kids are going to be fucked up, and excuse my language, it's going to be fucking twisted. They're never going to be the same. Ever going to be the same. Especially if they were being sold 5-10 times a day. They're never going to be that little boy or little girl ever again. Major help. Lots of money. But we blow so much money in this country on the most pathetic things. Children are supposed to be our future. You can't just arrest. You have to rebuild lives. That's a fact. I touched that a little while ago. This is what I think. You cannot just arrest because they're going to get a lawyer, who's going to find a loophole, and they're going to get off. It just can't be an arrest because they're going to laugh at the arrest and get out on bond and either fled, and you're never going to catch them again. That's why you have to fight this like a war. An eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. I'm sorry. If you people think that's ruthless, then you don't want the problem fixed. But there's certain things in this country you have to be ruthless. You got to become them. You got to become their mentality. You got to think like them. You got to act like them. Why do you think some of the best undercover agents? Look at Donnie Brasco. Why was he so successful? What was the main reason he was so successful? He became one of them. He thought like them. He lived like them. And that's why he was successful. That's the only way you're going to do this with human trafficking and the drug problem we have in this country. It's the only way. You have to just overstep your own laws and go outside the box. That's the only fucking way it's going to be done. I'm sorry. You want to beat it 100%? We can knock fentanyl out of this country to be never here again. But you got to do some pretty things that might not sound too good to the American people. But when it's cleaned up and no one's dying, they'll understand. Forgiveness will come, whether they think it's ruthless or not. When they see the statistic, no one's being killed for fentanyl no more. Fentanyl is not even a thought anymore. Now there's going to be a lot of forgiveness, and people are going to say, maybe he was right. He made us good again. He made our country good. He made us safe again. If not, destruction, and we're just going to be, someday it's going to be, boof, see you later. You have to rebuild lives. You have to, it's a fact. Like I said, they're going to be so damaged. My act finishes what Trump started. We go beyond rescue into rebirth. It's like starting all over again. It's like like that child becoming reborn again. You got to restructure everything because they're never going to be the same. And I don't know if there's anybody here tonight that maybe got a relative or a child or someone they know that their kid was abducted and because of your trafficking, they'll, it's, we all can sympathize and say we understand, but we don't unless it happened to us. It's the same way when you lose a child to death and people say, I really feel, I understand what you're going. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't understand what those people go because if you never had children, you didn't lose children. You don't understand. So that's a wrong choice of words. You'll never understand. I'm sorry, you just won't until it happens to you. And then you think twice. That's why I regret some of the things I did on my shows and the internet and going as far as I did with some people. And sometimes I stooped down to their level and went after, it's two wrongs don't make a right. But I can tell you what, I'm more accountable in this Dabbleverse than anybody. When I fucked up, or if you caught me dead right, it might have took me a while to come out and say, I'm sorry, and you were right. But I still was accountable. And I get nothing for that. I get called a fucking lowlife, dumb motherfucker. I don't care if half of you are more educated than me. I don't care. I've always spoke from my heart and what I believe in. And I'll always be a fighter. And I'll never give up on something I believe in. That's just not me. I believe on something. I fight to the end. And I did that when I sit here and people say, you're so dumb. Why you care what the internet says? Why you fight the trolls? Because that's me, how I'm built. So you can take it or leave it. I get people every day now call me every name book. Oh, I can't show you. You're a pussy. You don't stream no more. My choice. Why should I come back to nothing but, why do I have to come back after being trolled my first year and got past all that, made it monetization, started making a decent wage in the internet, and I got to be brought back to start all over again because I took a vacation, trying to take a vacation? No, sorry. You guys think you can run your shit. These people, these trolls think they can only speak and you're supposed to lie down like a puppy dog and not do what they want. They picked the wrong guy when they came after me. And I'm sorry. And if you want to fucking think I'm the fucking piece of shit, I will do whatever it takes if someone attacks me and comes at me and lies on me and tries to disperse my reputation, and I'll do whatever it takes. And if you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell you that right now. I don't care who likes it or lump it. But here's the thing. Don't think I'm bluffing. The people know who I'm talking about because I will do what I say. And if you think, and the other thing, you want to say I'm a doxer? Again, he's the second person that doxed himself. Never brought it to the internet. I took it privately to him. And he's the one that ran his mouth about it. So that's on him. But I'm at my last leg with him. And if he wants to think that I won't, that he needs to jump and continue doing what he's doing. And I'll tell you what, he won't be too happy. And I don't want to be that guy. And I don't give a fuck who talks to me or who likes it. Because you guys don't pay my bills. You don't, at the end of the day, you don't do shit for me. Nothing. But give me agita and aggravate me and make rude ass comments to me and my family all day long. So, so be it. So, George, did I do George W. Bush? I did Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Joe Biden. Joe Biden was the last one to put it. Yeah, here it is, Joe Biden. All right. So, Joe Biden, 2021-25, the oversight era. He renewed the National Action Plan to combat human trafficking. Boosted funding for awareness and victim assistance programs. Okay. What worked? More talk about equity, protection, and prevention. Okay. You got to have a plan. You got to be able to have how you're going to protect these people, how you're going to have prevention for this happening, and how you're going to get them back to being somewhat of a decent human being. Because I know about you, but if that happened to me as a kid, I don't think I'd be able to face society too good as a normal human being. That's pretty messed up. I mean, I read some things that these kids are being sold 10, 15 times a day. Every couple hours they're being sold to somebody. Little kids, 5, 7, 8 years old. That's disgusting. Any grown person that gets off on a 5, 6, 7, 3, 4-year-old infant, whatever, anything up to an adult is a sick human being. And you think that and you don't think that they're not amongst us? You don't think these people are amongst us every day in our life? How well do we know everybody in the chat room? How do we know they're not one or two in the chat room right now? We don't know. I can't say that it is, but how do you know there's not? You don't. And that's the part I'm saying. You understand? It's just, I don't know. I'm going to read some of the super chats. I said I'd get that part over it. And then we'll get back and I'll talk a little bit more. All right, let me go here. Again, I want to thank everybody for being here, too. It means a lot. And I'm sorry that I've been canceling. And I'm sorry that, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry that, you just can't understand me, some of yous. And I'm sorry for the phony people that say they're your friends, but they're not. Because when I make a friend with somebody, I stay true to them. All right, we got Mr. Brent Monkhouse. Australian $5. Thank you, sir. Good day, Joey. I had to put my sunglasses on with suit bait, blinded in one eye now. Okay. And those of you who made a comment, I have one tie. I have probably 100 ties, and I like a lot of purple. So purple's my favorite color, but I have several ties. I always was a good dresser when it came to dressing with when you had to go out for certain functions. I that's one of my favorite things to do. And I didn't buy cheap clothes when I dressed. I always bought good clothes, expensive clothes, name brands. But I do know how to dress. I do know how to act in public. I do know what a salad fork is. I do know what a cocktail fork is. I know what a regular eating fork is. I know what a soup spoon is. I know all that stuff. I know etiquette. I know how to act at a table. I know how to say excuse me and thank you and God bless you. Or I know how to do all that too. So, I'm just not like a plain fucking animal like some of you people make me out to be. Thank you, Brent Monkhouse. Let's see here. We got Trailer Trash Libertarian, $5. Is that Joe's picture? My buddy Joe? Hey, Big Sauce, when will we get a statement from the First Lady? She's in the works of getting ready to come back and do a show with Spider. Matter of fact, we talked to Spider yesterday. And it's going to be in a very soon near future. It might even be this month. But she has a whole file prepared here of things that she wants to get done as the First Lady. And, it'd be interesting to see them back on the screen again. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Trailer Trash Libertarians. So look out in the near future. Here's a guy I can't call a friend, but to most other people say, he's not your friend. He's not a friend. He's not your friend. Nobody's your friend. You bag. Oh, okay, whatever, man. Jealousy, 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 jealousy. Don't get you nowhere. Red Fug Lee, thank you for looking good, bud. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, I figured that if I'm going to do a political thing, I'm going to have to dress up. Um, I do, when I do need to go get a couple suits though. I'm going to be doing that soon. I don't know if you saw my show last night, and I was in my wife beater, and I was looking like you could tell I lost weight. If you looked at the video, I wasn't. I'm starting to trim down. I'm in the third phase of the Zepbound. It was 2 milligrams for 2 months, 5 milligrams for 2 months. I just started the 7.5 milligrams, second dose of the first month. 2 more doses for this month, and the next month will be 7.5. So we got 4 at the end of this month to be 5 months in, and then another month of 7.5, that'll be the 6th month. And then we go to 10 milligrams for the 7th and 8th month, and 12.5 for the 9th and 10th month, and then for the 11th and 12th month is 15 milligrams. And my doctor said you'll start really noticing stuff once you get to the 7.5 and up. And he's right; it's starting to show. Again, you just gotta. It's just not the shot. You have to change some things up, but it does crave you for wanting to eat so much. I mean, that's what it does. But thank you, Rev. Good to see you here, buddy. Jimmy 5, thank you for $1.99. Condemn the mafia role in human trafficking. Listen, a gangster's a gangster, so whatever avenue to get in. But I can assure you this, and this, I think I could. I don't know if I'll go as close as say it's a fact, but I'll say pretty close to a fact. When the Italian mafia ran this country at the various levels of criminal empires, I don't believe there was ever anything in any FBI case that they were charged with human trafficking or the mishandling of children trafficking. I don't think I've ever seen that in any talk, any show, any history thing that the Italian mafia did that. Now, maybe the underworld mafia of other races, yes, they do. But when I spoke that, I wasn't clear when I said the mafia wasn't involved. I meant the Italian. I don't think you can find anything under the Italian mafia saying that they human traffic, killed children or women. Prostitution is not human trafficking. Prostitution is the oldest thing. They ran brothels. Human trafficking is different. That they kidnap you and sell you, and they abuse you and beat you and dope you up. That wasn't the case there. But I don't think there's anywhere in history saying the Italian mafia did human or children trafficking. I'm almost pretty certain of that. I could be wrong. And I'm sure a certain individual who I know is in the chat room is going to go emergency show tonight and tell them how I'm so full of shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. I said I'm pretty sure because I speak for my heritage. I'm proud of my heritage. And again, criminals are criminals, but at least they were a class act criminal, the Italian mafia. The other mafias today, the triads and the Mexican mafia and the Russian mafia, they're ruthless. They don't care. So they are involved in all that stuff. I can't speak for them. I know nothing about them. I'll learn them, but not my interest right now. But thank you. We got Chad. He's nuts. $5. Mr. C, would you rather have hands for feet or toes for hands? That's a good question. Thank you for making me laugh. Would you rather have hands for feet or toes for hands? Oh my God. I don't know. That would be a pretty interesting way to walk, I guess. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll give you an A+ for that one. A good one. You guys was good. Thank you. Our famous Rev Fug Lee down, deport Lou. Well, if I thought Lou was an illegal immigrant, I would deport him, but unfortunately he's not. And I listen. Was I hurt by Lou? Absolutely. Do I hate Lou? No. Is Lou a good guy? Did I have good times with him? Yes. Is Lou a scumbag? No. Is Lou a drug addict piece of shit? No. Is Lou a bad parent? No. Is Lou sometimes uneducated on certain things? Yes, just like all of us are. Does Lou know certain things that he's very good at? Yes, he does. Did he? Did he? Did he mess up our thing just as much as I did? I take 50% of the, and he should be accountable for 50%. Was he coerced over because of haters? 100% that they know they did. They sold the picture of the moon. It was all about, just think about how riled up he'll get. Just think about how chapped he'll get. I got to do this. I got to do this. Always trying to get one up on me. Oh, he drives a sports or a girl's bike. Well, yeah, you know what? It is a smaller bike, but Ben do drive those bikes. A Harley's a Harley, and he got to go up one better by showing a Japanese bike that he once bought. You see that? You see where my point with this man is? He'll never, ever get me out of his head. The jealousy that runs through that man's veins when it comes to me is so pathetic. He just got to do that. And you know what? That's sad to live like that. It's sad. I've owned several bikes. I've drove bikes my whole life. He calls it a lie. I promise you, he wants to go bring his bike here and we go riding. I'll fucking blow him away on driving a motorcycle. I promise you that. And I'm not talking, just bring your bike here and we'll go riding. And you'll see the difference. The man couldn't even walk in a walk and talk. He was fucking ready to collapse and die the first mile. And that's a fact. So, does he do it for views and attention? Absolutely. He tries to get noticed, but he gets nowhere. And I laugh. I really do. I really laugh at him. It's sad. It's sad that he's that type of person. He really is. That guy is a mess, man. He's a mess. Damaged goods. I tell you that. I don't care how good his parents were to him. That man's damaged goods. Filet of fish, $5. Thank you. To be used towards your campaign. I'll make sure it gets over to the FEC campaign fund when I get paid for it. Thank you, sir. That's what I was told to do. We got a $5 campaign, so we have $35 in there. $30 from 2 months ago and $5 that are in there. I've got to get a lot of printing. I got to get a lot of stuff. But thank you. I'll make sure it goes over there, Filet of Fish. Thank you. Here's a guy I haven't seen in a while. John Nojai. $2. Elect J.S. Catalano. Well, President and Grifter in Chief. Yes. That's what define grifter, John Nojai. Because we could hit the circuit and go to every show. And let's see the scroll about sending Cash App or PayPal. We're all grifters when it comes to these shows. They give us the tools for people to give us money. So whatever you want to call it. It's what we earn to do, and you pay it. So to sit there and if you're bitching about it, if you're really serious and bitching about it, why are you sending money? That's what I'm talking about. You guys contradict yourself day in and day out with some of the roasters. But thank you for the $2. Another guy that thinks he's so much smarter than everybody. Shuli Madoff, $2. Does anyone feel dumber listening to this? Listen to me. Again, if you want to make a comment, why are you here then? Why are you fucking here spending the time to listen to me if you feel if it's dumb? Why? Because you're a sick degenerate must be in a chat room or you're a fucking fiend. That's your life. Sad, pathetic life. But thank you for the $2. Shuli Madoff, thank you for the $5. Joey, she uses today so much is why our electric bills. Yeah, wow. Did you write that joke? Kind of lame joke. Not too funny. I use it as a tool, just like a carpenter uses his tools. It's all I do. I use it for a platform for my tools, as a tool. And that's what I do. And if you should start using it, because when it does become the future and you're going to have to use it, you're going to be so dumb to it, it's going to reject you. So that's all my super chats. Thank you. We'll start back up here. I'm going to take a quick break. I have to use the restroom, and then we'll get into some more. We got about we'll take a 5-minute break. We're at that'll bring us up to an hour, and then I'll come back with about 20 minutes, and we'll wrap this up. But I will do this political thing every week, every Wednesday, and then I'm going to put up in the chat where you can send legitimate donations if you want to help the campaign, if you want to get involved in volunteers in your state to do signatures and get signatures for us. We would appreciate that. All I could say is this: I'm not going to make a bunch of campaign promises. I'm not a politician. I'm not trying to scam. I'm not trying to do I'm trying to make a difference. Again, 1 and probably 1 in 5, 1 to 7 million chance of making it. But I'm not trying to run it as a political campaign. I'm trying to run it as I'm an average Joe trying to get the country back for the American people. Again, before we go take that break, that's the form. Look forward to it. It has to go on this. So if you got any volunteers who want to help me with this, let me know. We've got to get 145,000 of these. We actually 200,000 we got to do, and we got about 2 years and 6 months to do it. So we got a lot of work. So we take a little break, be back, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Take 5.
How about that one?
Let's go. Yo, Joey C, your neighborhood is spooky, like the comic killer, our best friend Tukey. Yo, Joey C, you always say you have a great sensibility, like ROJ. Yo, Joey C, the super chats are seamless, just like Cardiff Electric, who's a motherfucking genius. Let's go.
You're a punk, a sissy, your nickname's doo-doo, your feet don't match and you don't love Jesus. Punk, a sissy, your nickname's doo-doo, your feet don't match and you don't love Jesus.
Yo, Joey C, your neighborhood is spooky, like the comic killer, our best friend Tukey. Yo, Joey C, you always say you have a great sensibility, like ROJ. Yo, Joey C, the super chats are seamless, just like Cardiff Electric, who's a motherfucking genius.
Anybody want to send me some tortillas and some watermelons? I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? Why you be bouncing on me, bro?
Let's go.
How about that one?
Step right up, the circus is in town. Spotlights on Lou, the counterfeit clown. Painted on grin, but the friendship's a fake. Shakes your hand now, but he's plotting the break. Kahuna knew he rolls in with a honking horn. Big top bluster since the day he was born. Talking real loud, but the truth's a breeze. Hot air their cold heart smells like old cheese and cupcake. Oh, cupcake. Jealous of the shine, sprinkles of envy in every line. Throw sugar, hide spice, thinks we can't see, but the frosting's thin as a paper degree. So gather the crowd, cue the calliope sound. These aren't tight friends, just carnival clowns. I'll juggle their stories, you drop the beat. The ringmaster's here and the show's complete.
Go back up. All right, thank you, people. Thank you for that little break. We got about 20 minutes left. I'm going to just cover up a little bit of what I think, my thoughts that I put in. And I made a bunch of notes and just, thought this through thoroughly. I am a parent. I am a grandfather. So these are things that I think that we know what other presidents have done. We know what some of it worked. We know where they failed. So you take that and you take what they failed at and definitely, and you go the opposite way. What I feel is you create the American Child Recovery Task Force. You cross agencies 24/7, federal and local. They got to work together. If they don't, if you could get all local and federal agencies to work together, and a task force that's going to be 24/7, with in 2 shifts, 12 and 12, where it's 24/7, because somewhere at some point people are awake and people are working, people see things, and if you get a tip that's legitimately a good tip, you might be at that point be able to. But if you ain't got the task force that's 24/7, then it gets okay. It'll go on to a call center. From a call center, it'll get to another person. Then it goes to another person, and then before they get it out, they've already moved those children. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to be able to act sometimes on tips that might be really reliable to be able to recover. Launch trafficking lifetime registration, digital fingerprinting for life. So at best, the small time players that you get involved, you got to make sure that they're in the database. Like all federal, anybody goes to federal jail, you got to do it. You got to do a DNA now. Not all states do that. They don't swab you for DNA. Federal, you have to. You cannot even tell them no. Once you're in their custody, you must swab for DNA. It's just part of life. You got to do this with this. Apparently, my wife disagrees. She says the state, at least in Florida, for sure they do. I imagine maybe now they're all doing it. I've never been arrested in many states, so I don't know. I don't know what the different states do, but that's one thing you have to do. Build the survivor justice fund. When you find them and they survive, like I said, they're going to be so broken. You've got to get them back ready for society. You got to fix as much as you can. They're going to have to go to intense therapy. You're going to have funding for this. You cannot just kick them to the curb like they do when someone gets in a car accident and they get you on pain medication and they keep you on it for 6 months and then they kick you to the curb. You're not fixed. And what happens? Good people go out and do stupid things and then they break the law and they go to prison because they were cut off before they were healed. You don't give up. You go all the way through and you fix. I know we have certain individuals in the chat room that think I don't understand nothing. He's so much fucking better than everybody. But I got news for you, pal. I know everything I talk about. Whether you believe that or not. Again, if I was you, I would get out of the Joey C business. It's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for you. Because I will do everything I say I'm going to do. And there'll be a damn thing you're going to do about it. And then you're going to have a lot of problems. A lot of problems. Because you're going to look like a scumbag because of how you tread like a scumbag. And if you want to dance and continue to stay in the Joey C business, it's going to be bad. I got nothing to lose. It seems like you got everything to lose. That's the difference between you and I. Okay? Remember that. I don't want to be no one's enemy, but you left me no choice to be this way to you. So that's your choice. I await. I mean, I don't even understand what the fuck the guy wants to be around me. Why he wants to even watch. He thinks he's so well liked that I'm not. He's so much more popular than I am, but I'm not. Nobody likes me. Everybody fucking just makes fun of me. He's so full of shit. So full of shit. We have to mandate prosecution audits. No more sweetheart plea deals. That's a fact. You cannot give a human trafficker or a person that's hurting children by whether they're beating them, raping them. You cannot give a plea deal to these people. You got to give them. You got to get stern. Fuck the plea deal. Do you know what they give chomos? Do you know what chomos? What we call chomos, child molesters, the sex predators. Do you know that from up until just recently, and the law still ain't tough. They get a slap on the wrist. They used to get a slap on the wrist in 780 and go to therapy and go home. And then the next thing you know, they're out raping children. They got they're sick-minded people. Ones that predator that prey on little kids, and then they go with the little doll and the candy, and they try to be all nice and sweet like a little kid, and then the kid don't do what they want, and they snap and they hurt them. Oh, they did get declared that something's mentally deranged and they get put in the hospital. That's how it used to be. Fuck that. If you're gonna hurt a child, no mercy. That's what's got to be done. That's what I was talking about earlier. Okay. Well, I was talking out without having to read off my paper. I'm sorry, I don't have the memory to memorize everything. Most presidents read off a teleprompter or with notes in fucking front of me, you dumb fuck. Most of them do. Mostly someone writes everything for them. But because I do it, I'm a fucking stupid motherfucker. Do you see how warped this man is? Why anybody pays attention to this fucking loser? And he is a fucking loser. And a liar and a piece of shit. Yes. Exactly, because he's a failed fucking history teacher and a fucking alcoholic is what he is. And a bum. He's just, the guy just, get out of the Joey C business. That's my best advice for you, pal. Because I told you a long time ago, I don't give up and I'll fight till, I got nothing to lose, so I'll fight all the way to the end. And I'll get more vicious and deviant. And you're going to go, start a whole show tonight. He's going to dox my, I will dox everybody in your fucking family. I will do a show on every single one of your fucking family members. If you keep fucking doing what you've been doing on me, I'll guarantee it. It will happen. Okay? Trust me on that. I will learn the hard way. You fight fire with fire. You're at war. You don't win by being a pussy. All right, let me see here. We already did that. We covered that. Okay. All right. Let me go over a couple more things. We're at a minute 7. I want to go past a minute 20. I've got to call. My son gets home from work at 11 o'clock. I got to see if he can help me with something tomorrow. So I got to call him. We have to renew the National Action Plan to combat human trafficking. Boost funding for awareness and victim assistance programs. We have to. Must talk about equity, protection, and prevention. I think I already covered that, didn't I? Yeah, okay, I did cover that. Why? Okay, yeah, this is where I left off. Why? The last thing I said before I just said that was mandate prosecution audits. No more sweetheart plea deals. And I just covered why. Why it finally works? Because if not, it's not just another plan. It's a promise that generations of leadership will not look away. I will not look away. Okay, and that's just the way it is. You cannot go half-ass and rescue 1 or 2 children and then leave them. Oh, here you go. Here's your child. Now deal with it. You can't. You can't, because they're going to grow up and they're going to do the same thing that was done to them. Now, you're not going to be able to fix everybody. When you get that, it depends how badly damaged and how old they started this. What if it was a kid 3 years old and he didn't get rescued to 11 or 12 years old? 10 years of that, he's probably going to be pretty dangerous. I just want to cover one more thing, and then I'm going to get off this subject. Next week, I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about Probably going to talk about the thing that just happened with they raised the minimum wage, federal minimum wage finally after all these years, and you know, you raise it $2, but everything goes up 5 times in rent and everything. So I mean, it did nothing for anybody. Going from 15 to 17 or 17 to 20 does not help when everything rises 5 times in inflation. So it's just not it's a slap in the face. It's the dumbest thing you ever heard of. You got to get people got to start being paid for what they're worth. If they got special talents, companies, and they're helping companies build and they're making ungodly profits, pay them what they're worth. We got to. There's a lot of things that I think could be done, and like I said, these are what I would think how I would implement if I was elected. You know, and most presidents. There's a lot of presidents that did acts on the federal minimum wage. I'm not an idiot. I'm not ever claiming that I came up with a whole brand new idea, because that's one of the first things I say, or the first thing I go when I go to research is this. I want to find out about the Human Trafficking Act. What presidents have implemented an act, and that's where I start, because I know somebody had to do something. Now, where did they fail? Let me see what was the factual failures, and then you could take all that and you process it, and then you say, okay, why did they do this? Why did they do that? Maybe this is how they should have did it. We're all humans, and nobody's gonna be perfect. Nobody's gonna be perfect, but there's a lot more we can do, and I just think that if you care enough, there's a lot of people, a lot of parents here. I guarantee you, in this chat room right now. You know, again, I just don't understand it. I guess I just never truly understand this Dabbleverse, because everything's a joke to everybody. They think they're funny. They get a little brave behind the keyboard warrior, and they say stuff, and they pop off at the mouth, and everything is, it's the Roccos, the Tukis, and people like that are just keep everything a joke. But even Rocco knows when he's off camera, he's not that way. He does everything because everything is for fun and games. Carter's the same way. I'm sure they're great family men. I'm sure they're great hardworking men. You know what I'm saying? Everybody look at John. John is John. You know what I mean? Do you think, though, you guys really, real quick before I go to this last page, do you really think the 2 years of the shows that have been on John, on Stutter and John, that it's changed him in any way outside of making him a fucking nutcase? Or do you think it's all an act and that just gives him a show to fight back? And you got to think of it is a lot of people don't realize a lot of these shows, they're in bed with each other, and it's all hype, and it's all for the fucking Dabbleverse. But there's a lot of them that they sit down and they introduce works, and that's a fact. And you had to be in their circle to see a lot of things that that they do. But John, they did ask John. That's a fact that the Shuli never did try to get him on board, and John's he's just not a guy to work with anybody. I got nothing against anybody. I chose now to just, I never. Some people try to change me to do things their way, and I was willing to do that to an extent. But you're not making me your puppet, and that'll never happen. I'm sorry. It's just not. And if you think you can change me like that, I'm not gonna lay down. People, and let me tell you something, I'm monetized. People say that I'm a grifter. Why ain't I on every day, 5 times a day, trying to fucking get money then? Do you know, since April, how many times I've streamed? Not a very lot. And I'm monetized. So if I was that money hungry and that much crazy trying to take your money, I'd be fucking shows 5 times a day. Don't you? You guys don't see past that. Okay? People all day long, go get a job. Motherfucker, I worked my whole life. I'm 60 this year. Legally retirement, if I was able to work, 2 years away from legal retirement. I do okay with my Social Security benefits. My Social Security at 62 is going to be quite well. So 2 years away. Unfortunately, I took out my insurance policy that everybody gets that they pay into for early retirement, because I had no choice. And believe that or not, I had a few major surgeries, and I did. And then and the type of job that I did, running the locker room, is not an easy thing. Running the locker room and equipment room is very high demanding. Players are very demanding. You got to be able to do 10 things at one time for these pricks. And I just don't feel I have that drive anymore to do that. And based on my operations I had, I got out when I was supposed to. And I was asked, can I adjust to the new way of baseball? Can I go with the changes? And I point blank tell them no. I answer the question honestly. I'm not going to lay down to the players like you guys want to give. You want to give work. I'm too old-fashioned, and I was trained by all the old school guys. So for me, it's not going to work. I'll just step out and leave. And that's what I did after 30 years. I left. And I got a great handshake from Grady Fuson saying, I had to ask. I knew you were old school, and I knew you wouldn't. Change to what? Where players can start talking to you like a dog and ordering you around? No, it don't work like that, especially in the minor leagues. You got to give them so much at every level, little by little, to graduate to when they get to AAA. So when they get to the big leagues, they see the difference of when they make it, how beautiful it is, and the perks they get. But if you let them run that shit down, ain't gonna happen. That's why they got nothing but kids running these locker rooms now, and it's all out of order. You got to have order, man. You got to have it. You got to let the departments run each other. What are you gonna next? You're gonna take the field manager. All he's gonna be able to do is write the lineup, and the players are gonna dictate how everything else goes. That's gonna be a disaster. Baseball's already a disaster. So I chose to just leave, and I don't follow it because I'm ashamed of the game, the way the turn it's taken, and the rules they're doing, and how MLB is fucking changing to like a little fucking kid game. So fuck it, that's my privilege, But I loved the game, and it was good to me, and it saved me in many ways. But then again, my demonic side of me didn't allow certain things to leave me. Why? Knowing that I had a pretty decent job and I was around good people and I had a good position and I made decent money. Why did I still stay an addict? Because I liked being an addict more than I liked working. But I never missed work because I had to make money to support my family and my habits. So, but those are my mistakes. One thing I will say, addictions that ruled my life, all my life, up until a couple years ago, was drugs and gambling. I let it run me. And that's where I was weak. And that's okay. I learned from it. I know what I did, the foolishness and the waste of money I did, and how I could be much better off in life. Not everybody has to be a bookworm and think they know every fucking thing. Oh, wow. So you're smart. God bless you. You know that I'm got no literacy when it comes to books or school, but you want to challenge a guy like that. Go challenge somebody that you know is as smart as you. You won't. You'll always go after the underdog. You'll never challenge somebody you know is smart. You'll never do that. But you'll come and challenge me because you know, without a doubt, you win. That's where you're a phony piece of shit. You look at that flip side of how you are. Go challenge. Let me give you somebody who could go challenge. Go challenge Kai Boccaccio. Go up against him in anything when it comes to books, history, and anything like that. You fucking would make you look fucking ridiculous, Cupcake. You know it. He'd bury you. Bury you. But you won't challenge a guy like that because you will look stupid. The man is 5,000 times more smart than you'll ever be. But you want to go pick a guy like me who you know has got no education, is dumb. That makes you a real fucking man. A real man. It makes you a fucking coward is what it makes you. Look yourself in the mirror. Go look at your fat ass in the mirror when you're drunk one day and look at yourself real good and see what a piece of shit you really are. I'm going to go over this page, and then I'm going to wrap it up. And I thank everybody for being here. I really do. I really do. Law enforcement training, grants, and coordination is key. Grants authorize formula and competitive grants to states, tribes, territories, and localities for RRT creations, law enforcement training, technology for investigations, and community-based survivor services. Must implement this stuff. This is after the fact. Training, DOJ, which is the Department of Justice, and the HHS shall develop mandatory trauma-informed training curricula for law enforcement, prosecutors, judges, medical examiners, and child welfare workers. Training must include cultural competence and anti-bias modulants. You understand that, right? Everybody's got to be on the same page. Everybody's got to care. Everybody in each of their fields got to do their job properly. all together, not like when you make phone calls with insurance company. You go to level one, nobody corresponded, nobody knows nothing. I don't know that. It's you have to have everybody should be able to answer what each department should be able to answer. Everybody should be on the same page. You have to, and that's just a fact. And one more thing, National Child Recovery Database. Create a secure, encrypted database for missing child trafficking cases that support real-time information sharing among authorized agencies. Like I said, if you got it 24/7 in real time and you get a tip, you have to act right then and there, and you got a chance to get 20 kids out of a house before they move them. You have to have that in real time. So there's a lot more. I'm not going to sit here and talk it all as we progress. And if I make it onto the ballot, I'll have these points and I will discuss them in full. I'm going to read. I got another super chat that came in. I want to thank everybody for being here. I really do. I really appreciate it. I really do. Okay. I think I got one more super chat. I wish everybody the best. Testy 499. Hi, new to your stream. I heard you say you were on disability. Are you physically disabled or mentally disabled? At one time, I was physically disabled because I had to have 2 major operations, but I also have mental. I have severe PTSD. I've been diagnosed with bipolar. So yes, I have mental now. But it's I got a year and a half to stay on my disability insurance. I was declared fully disabled by a judge when I applied for it, and I was granted full disability. A year and a half from now, I'll be on my regular Social Security anyhow. I'll start filing right before I turn 62, 6 months before. So I got 2 months, 3 months, 12, 15 months. So in 21 months, I'll be filing for my retirement Social Security anyhow. So, all right, I thank you. I appreciate Tessie. Thank you for being here. Everybody, God bless you, America. I'm Joe Samuel Catalano, and I approve this message. You guys all have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.